What's up, YouTube? Back at it again. Today we're gonna jump back into the Jeep Patriots. We've been doing a little bit of upgrades. You guys probably seen the last upload I had of the Jeep where we put the roof rack on. I think I put the traction pads. I don't know what you call them. Traction, boards. There you go. Some traction boards on there. I don't think I recorded that piece because it wasn't really like anything that anybody doesn't know how to do. I just wanted to show the rack that I got for the Jeep. Small little community for that, so it's kind of cool. But if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link down below. You guys can check it out. So today is going to be a little bit more of a non-off-road related, just kind of a general, install. But something unique about it is, for me personally, I've never had a problem putting stereo systems in cars, and I do it myself. But typically you got room, right? You use an Escalade, or even my old '65 Cadillac has like a huge trunk space. The thing about the Jeep is it's really compact. If you guys don't know what a Jeep Patriot is, you can look it up. It looks like old school Grand Cherokee back in the day, but it's built off the Dodge Caliber, which is probably really obscure that people don't know what that is. When you see it, you're gonna know why you don't recognize or remember that what that name is, just because they're butt ugly. But the Jeep is built off that same platform, so it's super tiny, compact, like a 2.4 liter. So really compact and everything. So a lot of trunk space. So I was kind of beating my head against the wall, like, how do I add a little bit of sound system? I'm getting older, so I don't need something to bump. I don't need a big old 12 or 15, but even a 10 to put it in the back of the trunk space was gonna be, something really tight. I wasn't gonna be too comfortable putting something back there and losing space, because it's an off-road vehicle. I need my shovels, my tow straps, all that kind of stuff I'm gonna put in the back when we go for off-road little adventures. So I was, scouring the internet, and I found a company. I should have brought it out here, but you guys will see. I'll throw it up on, probably on the screen right now. I forget what it's called now, but there's a bunch of them. I think I've got just the cheapest one, so it probably doesn't even matter what name it is. But they're basically like 3-inch, 2-inch space, all built in subs with the amp and everything, for space saving reasons. Literally on the Jeep, where we're gonna put it at is in the rear passenger seat. It's a bench seat, and I have probably that much space. So it's gonna be kind of unique, and I kind of wanted to make sure I captured it and put it on YouTube to show you guys some options on, maybe you got a same kind of car situation where maybe you just have like a smaller car and you just don't want to fill up your whole trunk with a sub. So these are some new options. I've never seen them before, and it was kind of cool, and they're relatively cheap. At least the ones I went, I think they were like, I think I bought a 2-pack of them for like less than like $200. And then obviously you get the wiring kit and all that stuff like that. That'll probably be, I don't even think I spent more than $150 on this set. So it'll be interesting to see if it actually sounds good. But even a 10-inch sub added to like a single cab truck or something is going to give you some kind of beat, and you just need a little bit of bass. You don't really need to go all out. We're not trying to explode heads here or run it, stand up to any competitions or anything like that. We're just trying to add a little bit more oomph to the sound of that we already have. I already have an aftermarket stereo. Man, I mean, nowadays, stereos and stuff, the equipment and systems and stuff, I don't know. Maybe it is still iffy to grab something that is, cheap. But I mean, I bought a whole touchscreen stereo double din for the Jeep for less than $100, and it works pretty good. It looks kind of cheap, feels kind of cheap, but it works perfect. It connects to my Bluetooth, no problem. I don't know. It's crazy to me nowadays how cheap some stuff can be when, especially now when I'm probably going to upload this, everything's just super expensive. So anyways, enough chit chat. Let's go break down what we got, show you guys where I'm going to put it, and then we'll do a little time lapse of the install, and then afterwards we'll fire it up and show you guys how it sounds. Cool? All right, guys, let's jump into it. All right, guys, so here you go. So this is the company. Rockville is the company. This is a 800 watt peak power, and this is a 10-inch low profile active subwoofer. And then I got the Rockville wiring kit, so it looks like it gives you pretty much everything you need to hook it up. So pretty cheap. Like I said, I forgot I got 2 of them, so I got 2 subs that I'm going to put in here, or I'm attempt to put in here. They look big in the box, but I think once you pull them out, like I said, they're not that big at all. Let me see if I can even pull one out right now. Yeah, so there it is. It's just one big ass speaker with a built-in sub, and you can see kind of off to the side. It's not that big, so it's gonna fit underneath. Let me hop in the Jeep, and I'll show you guys where we're gonna mount it at. Okay. All right, guys. Let me show you that next. All right, guys. So this is the back seat right here. I cleared it out. It's probably a little bit of mess in here, but I got kids back here, so it is what it is. So yeah, so you know, if you want to take a look at the trunk, I'll show you. It's a mess anyways, but it just goes to show you, like, you know, I need this space, but it's hard to tell. But like, I already have something hanging back here for supplies for cleaning and stuff, and you know, just yeah, imagine putting like a 10-inch sub in there. I don't know, it's just not going to be ideal. It's small, it's compact. So once you take out the 10mm bolts right here, it's pretty easy to pop this off. Let me go to the other side. So there you go. So that's how you take off the seat in the Jeep. And yeah, as you can tell, there's not a lot of space underneath here. And I'll be honest with you, now that I'm looking at it, this stuff's probably not gonna work, man. I mean, there's literally like no space underneath here. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what I can come up with to see if we can make it work. But yeah, this is what we got right now. So yeah, let's jump into trying to do the install and see how it sounds and how it looks. Cool? All right, guys, let's do this.
This is Phase Ed Music.
right, YouTube. So just completed the installation. Sorry, this looks all dirty. This is all the foam that I'm going to show you that I had to modify and cut out to make it fit. Okay, so sorry for the cut off at the end, because it makes it seem like all I did was install it and we're good, but no, that's not the case, guys. So let me show you real quick here. All right, guys, let's see. So once again, you can see the subs and how they look. They're all dirty. There's a lot of wiring down here. Definitely not my ideal kind of look when you pull this kind of stuff up. You know, I've installed subs below seats before, and you know, always come out pretty easy. But let me just pan up here. Sorry for the finger in the way, but yeah. Both sides I had to completely gut out. If you guys are interested in actually doing this in your Patriot, you can even see like right here, I've actually had to cut some of the frame out of the actual seats. So yeah, this was not a throw it in the seat and connect it and you know, you're good to go. And I'll be honest with you, I think it took me maybe like 2.5 to 3 hours just to install everything, you know, for the setup for the subs. Because kind of what I was running into, the issue is right here. I don't think I have it shown. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it right here. So you can see kind of right here, I had to splice the RCA cables. So behind my stereo system back over here, it only has one set of connections for RCA cables. So what I had to do to make both subs work was I wired this sub first on the driver's side, everything it needed, you know, the power, the remote wire, the ground, and the RC cables. And then I doubled up everything and did the same thing on this side for the other sub. And then the RC cables I had to split and splice it so both of them were getting the same signal from the CD player, or you know, head unit. I've never done that before, and you know what, it worked pretty good. I'll be honest, I probably would have got the same amount of sound as I would out of one sub as I do two. I think just because like splicing it and running the wires like that is not ideal, because it doesn't tell you to do that, and I've never seen that. I've done that with doubling up on the power source and stuff like that. You know, that usually helps like give you more power sometimes. That's not a problem. I've done that before. The RCA cables, I've never done that. So something new, something to think about when you're going to do this yourself. The biggest thing though, like I said, and it doesn't matter one way or another, go with one sub or two. I think that's easy enough to wrap your brain around. It's the actual, you know, completely gutting out your seat. You can even see like I got a seat cover, you know, for this car, because I got that light tan interior, as you can see on the carpet. It's the same thing on the seats and stuff. You can't really tell, but the seat covers over it. So yeah, so just prepare yourself, guys. If you want to do something in this actual Jeep Patriot, this one's a 2000, I think this one's a 2013. Yeah, if you plan on doing it underneath the seat, you're definitely gonna have to do some modifications. The other piece too I forgot to mention is you can see there's some bolt holes here. So let me show you guys real quick. All right, guys, so this right here is the actual piece that you had to take out that you saw the bolt holes for in the Jeep Patriot. So I, you know, basically stopped recording after I installed everything because I literally was frustrated. I had no idea what I was gonna do next. I really didn't want to gut out the seat, but it really didn't make it uncomfortable, nothing like that. You know, it just maybe be a little bit uncomfortable if you're not wanting your butt to rumble with the subs underneath. but yeah, as you can tell, like on this side, I started cutting it, thinking I had to cut it out and try to make the subs fit in between, because, you know, the thing about the seat that I didn't go over in the last clip was I had to cut out parts of the frame. That was okay. But at a certain point, the subs were sitting so far back that I was gonna have to cut out more of the actual seat frame, and at that point, if I would have, there would have been no frame left. So that's when I started cutting out this little cross member bar. I got nervous at first when I started cutting it. That's why you know, I just cut it and didn't think about anything else about actually unbolting it, because it's only got 8 bolts. because I was afraid it was something structural that it had to do with. But then once I started like cutting, I was like, you know what, I'm in it to win it. And that's just part of modifications and DIY and stuff like that, you know. That's probably why there's probably not any real videos showing, you know, under seat installs for the Jeep, because it's just, I don't think they're sub small enough. So I kind of got a little over my head, but I think it was successful because, you know, cutting out that seat, I mean, those Jeep Patriots are so cheap. I'd imagine maybe it cost like $100 for a bench, a bottom portion of that bench. So not a big deal. But yeah, so I had to take this cross member out. Once I realized it, once I started like sitting here for a minute and thought about it, like by the next day, I literally just was like, oh, this is just to keep the seat up. Like, it's just supposed to help give some support. So this is nothing more than just a seat support. Didn't do anything structurally. And like I said, once you start digging into the Jeep Patriot, there's really not much between you and the roadway for, you know, muffling out sound. I literally took out some matting too. I think I tossed it because my dog was eating it. But it's like some really thin, like Dynamat looking material, but really cheap. It just it was like kind of like just laid in there. It didn't even need to get pulled out, you know, with any glue attached to it. It just literally just pulled right out. So just goes to show you how cheap some of these cars are made. And then you shouldn't feel, at least for me, at least didn't make me feel guilty about, you know, taking stuff out. So once again, if you guys are interested in doing this for your Jeep Patriot, you know, the wiring part's not too big a deal. But you know, you're definitely gonna have to do it yourself, because if you take this to a shop, they're gonna just tell you probably put it underneath the seats. And I'll be honest with you, I was about to do that myself, but then I figured, you know what, there's barely any room in those vehicles already, and I mentioned that earlier in the clip, in the tutorial, I guess, whatever you call it. And you know, so I was like, you know what, like, once again, I'm in it to win it. I didn't want to rewire anything, and I just figured, you know what, when the kids grow up, or if someone actually does sit back there, they're gonna be kicking that sub. I didn't want that, so I wanted to actually hide it. I wanted to put it underneath the seat. No one knows. The only way they're gonna know is when they sit in it, and then they hear the rumble underneath their butt cheeks for the subs hitting. And it sounds good. You know, I've been always accustomed to subs need airspace to make it sound better, and I believe it would. But in this case, it didn't make a difference. I got enough beats out of it, enough subs. The car is so small that just that little bit of sub, especially doubling up with 210s, makes a big difference. So anyways, guys, if you are prepared to do this in your Jeep Patriot specifically, know you're gonna have to gut out the foam, pull out this K member, or I say K member, I'm sorry, this little seat support member, and then, you know, just like I said, be able to just cover it back over. So it works really good. It's not a perfect fit when I lay it back over. I could have probably gutted out more of the back seat, but I just want to show you guys what the struggle I had to go through. The wiring is really easy. Getting the subs and the wiring for that was really, really simple. It came straight from the, you know, manufacturer. They're making it easier and easier to do subs or systems yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you've done it once or a couple times, it's easy. If not, I would say go and do it. They give you perfect instructions. Don't give your money away to a stereo shop. Just make sure you know you're gonna have to set a couple hours aside. And then if you're gonna do it in a Jeep, like I said, prepare to take a bunch of stuff out and cut the foam. Definitely not ideal. If you're willing to put it in the back, you know what I mean, and lose a bit of space back there, or put it underneath the seats, that's another recommendation I'd probably go with. But I had a mindset and a goal, and I did it, and you know, surprisingly it came out pretty good. Even my wife was kind of surprised too. I think she was looking at it like, what are you doing back here? So definitely got a little over my head, but I'm very happy with it, and hopefully you guys like the video. If you have any comments or something, you know, make sure you guys put them down below. I answer them all, because I know this is definitely a project that takes a lot of forethought and definitely some commitment, and I know a lot of people are comfortable with that. But hey, hopefully you like the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, guys, talk to you later.